was like, let me see what this guy's all about. And he actually showed up on my YouTube analytics because of
Oh, there
probably
we
because
go.
he in my oh no, because I clicked on gaming and then it usually shows retro games and like chess and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So then that showed up, so that was fun. Uh, um, we'll get into the YouTubes and then we might as well just start the show proper. What are you playing these days? Anything fun? Are you still doing Heist and Final Fantasy?
Final Fantasy.
Or fun? I got the toys on my desk. That was on my mind. Actually, I just put together. It was a present, and I never put it together yet. Lego D&D character. Apparently, they have D&D characters in like Lego now, so you can, instead of minis, you can buy like an entire set of like just Legos, and like they have the monsters and everything. Like, that's pretty cool.
Let me get the chat up.
But I meant, are you doing heists in Grand Theft Auto? Have you robbed a bank in a while?
Please, you think we robbed banks? That's fucking 2014. Dude, sometimes it's fun to go back and do like what was fun in 2013. Now that they've added so many different things to do in the game.
Well, now you just obey the law, right? Can't you just like be a garbage man and obey the traffic signals and do all that kind of fun stuff?
Oh yeah, like I have a bond business. I have a mechanic shop. Sometimes I like to deliver pizzas or be a taxi guy. And what's fun?
So
what's funny is when people. I don't know if the chat's working.
We just don't have anyone yet, which is surprising. Usually, Chris.
I don't think it's been working.
I
don't think it's worked for a while.
The plugin, or I usually look at it right now. We were talking to people a couple days ago. You know what? I guess I didn't notice if the plugin was working or not. But Opie was on the other day, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know, he'll probably come in now. He was hanging out.
Ugh. No, I'm playing Baldur's Gate.
Oh, really? Are you playing with anyone, or are you just going through single? Ooh, nice thumbnail. That'll get people in.
I keep thinking this thing is freezing. I'm lucky that I got this thing to start. Oh, that's a kick. I'm lucky I got this thing to like start with my tech savviness. The Baldur's Gate's fucking nuts, dude. It's like, okay, I'll give you one example. It's like every time you play the game, it's different because, you know, Dungeons and Dragons, like, you can, there's still dice rolling, and unless you're gonna sit there and save scum to get the good dice roll. It's like everything changes, like your conversations changes, like depending, like you play as a, like this time I'm playing as a monk, so every time I'm always trying to like stop fights and stuff. Like you get different, depending on your class, you get different things you get to say. But like
that's actually really cool.
The last time I played it, all right, so you're underneath the ground in the mines, and there's like dwarfs, and dwarfs are like a little bit taller, a little bit stronger than the tiny little gnomes. So they make the gnomes their slaves. And the first time I go through, this one woman's like, please, it's like, you have to go, there's people trapped in the mines, and the only person that has like explosives to like free the little gnomes is someone who ran away. And like her girlfriend is like, doesn't want to give her up because she's the one that got free. So the first time I play it through, I'm like, I help her out. I get the explosives to free everyone and let her go. The second time I go through, like things change how my dialogue, and I find out that it's like the one that's escaping doesn't give a shit about her girlfriend. She's like, you know what? Just tell her that I died. I didn't make it out. That you find my body. I'm like, whoa.
Oh, that is something.
So it's like every time you play the game, it could be different.
Yeah, so I mean, it definitely has the same story beats. It's just the difference between getting from A to D is.
No, let me tell you, this playthrough is crazy because I'm playing as this guy So it's like you can play as any of the main characters, which is crazy. And then it's like
That's what I thought.
the story just completely changes.
Don't you have a party?
You don't have
Or do you actually have one main character that you use?
You don't
I
have
thought
to
you
use
controlled
any
like a
of
whole
them.
bunch.
Yeah, you do, but you
Oh.
don't have to use any of them.
What an open-ended, like that sounds like they actually really did do.
So there's this character, so you can play as like your blank slate character, you know, or they make one called like the Dark Urge, and it's like your character just has like the urge to just like maim and slaughter and murder, and just like you'll come up against like some person that's like, help, I need a health potion or whatever. Like I slipped down these rocks, and the narrator would be like, because they're in some short little water, like, oh, my favorite drownings always happen in shallow waters, and you just drowned them. So combine that crazy character, yeah, and it's like either you just go full demon mode, or you, like the interesting thing is like you try to fight it, which is what I do. Is like my character's a peaceful monk, but they have these crazy urges to just like slaughter and murder.
I didn't even think about that. You can be like you can play. I'm gonna cover up my seat. I think you can be you can be a complete so you can play every character, and then you can. This game might never end.
Oh, like
play any
one of your
character, and then you
companions
can be like, well, now I'm gonna play it as a bad guy, and now I'm gonna play it as a good guy, and now I'm gonna kill everybody.
Oh yeah, like one of the characters, like you meet like two of your party members and like the ship and like the opening thing, and this ship is going down, it's about to blow up, so it's like the one person is stuck in a pod, and you can just go, she's like, help me, get me out of here, and you just go, nah, I'm good. She just dies.
Oh, that is weird. The
Yeah,
screen was
it's
too close to
crazy.
my head. It was cutting my head off. Well, cool. Opie's in the house. You want to start a podcast proper? I need to do Baldur's Gate. I'll get there. It seems like I need a week's or a month's vacation to really dig into the game. It's only been out for what? Is it over a year, 1 year now, or is it 2 years old now?
A couple of years. They just added mods.
Oh shit. Well, that always changes the game. How do you make a perfect game even more perfect?
So the game's just never gonna end.
Well, Opie wants to play too. I'll play with Opie.
Baldur's Gate, I'll play it. Yeah, it's so much fucking fun. It'd be so much fun to play with people.
I know. If we can get a party of 4 too, right? I mean, that's the dream. Is that's how many people you can play with, or do you play with up to 5? That'd be the
4.
dream, to play with an entire party.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Look at P-Chan.
I am gonna have a hard time concentrating with these videos behind me. Those are cool.
Oh, that was like
All right.
an infinite looping. That was funny.
Can you pull that one off? Oh my god, you could pull that. You could pull that off so easy, because there's a second where. That's funny. Juno.
Yeah.
What day is it? It is Sunday night, and you know what that means.
It's time to podcast.
Yeah, it is. It's my favorite time of week. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's edition of the Stardom Fan Podcast. We have another Patreon-supported episode by the Stardom Fan Chicken. And you know what? We're just going to throw Opie in here too, because I'm assuming that they pulled their requests together, and they're both. This is going to be an extra good show because they requested that we do a show on Arisa Hoshiki, who Chicken says the greatest. Chicken, the Stardom Fan Icon Chicken, says the greatest wrestler to ever do it.
Yeah.
All right. I got so excited I didn't even say the introductions are always a must. I'm Mark.
I'm Juno, and that's Arisa. No, that's like, yeah. There you go. There's Arisa Hoshiki.
Yeah, man. Today we are gonna dive deep into the life and career. She doesn't really do. I'm always gonna say that Utami was always easiest because you could just like watch her life. So more the career, not too much stuff behind the scenes of the girl. But we are talking about Arisa, a true shining star in the world of wrestling. We're gonna
Yeah,
talk
baby.
about her early career, her rise in stardom, her shocking retirements, and
Yeah.
what she's been up to since, which is also a secret. Unless, you know what, it did show that she has, like, I was watching her concert on YouTube, and it did show that she has a Twitter. I don't know if she updates it because I don't go on Twitter, so that should have been like where I should have ended up. But other than that, we're gonna cover all of it. Let's celebrate the incredible journey of Arisa Hoshiki. What do you got, buddy?
I found it interesting that, I mean, I'm a little fuzzy. I gotta eventually go back and, because I'm interested looking into like early Stardom. Because her first match was with Mayu Iwatani, which is always awesome. And then that match happened before like Stardom was a promotion. Like I was reading that it was like a tryout match basically. And then she for like a year was in Stardom before it was like a legit promotion and they weren't running regular shows. And then in like 2012 she just like disappeared. She's like, I don't want to be a wrestler anymore when she turned like 18. And then came back like 6 years later and then is an awesome wrestler. Just to give you a pretty quick overview, and then you tell me that. I know you were super into the details. 2018 comes back, has like that's what some would say is the greatest white belt run of all time, Momo Watanabe, and then has like the other greatest white belt run of all time, and then when she loses the belt, retires like a week later from wrestling. That's nuts.
Yeah, she she squeezed a lot into what is probably barely a total of 2 years of career. Really, about a year the first time, a year the second time. Um, what would you say if I was to tell you that we have another Lady Chiba in the house?
I
What
would.
is in the water?
I don't know, but it probably is like the cure to everlasting life or something.
It is no longer shocking that when we look up a star, we have a favorite wrestler, or a wrestler we like rather, that she ends up being she either ended up being one of two things is true. She's either from Chiba or she was on the Big Daddy YouTube show. Those are the those are the only two options for great wrestling. Let's just get back. Yeah, so she started her career 2011, that January 23rd show you were talking about. But dude, like even a little bit younger, like, so they started a company and she was the girl that started it off. We brought her up before during one of the shows, Fuka.
Mm-hmm.
That rings a bell, right? She was like one of the original wrestlers, probably trainers, helped started the company. I think she was like a piece of a partner, something like that. But at the time, so that's in 2011. Arisa's born in 1995, dude. I mean, so that she's 15 years old, and they're like, "All right, let's start a company with you." So, I mean, I guess, but I mean, that was true for a lot of them around then, right?
Yeah.
Even a lot of the girls now have been there for all of the 15 years. They just sort of grew up in the company.
Mayu is only 18, I think.
Well, yeah, you know what? It's funny because that doesn't sound weird, does it? Like, you know, I mean, obviously there's a huge difference between 18 and 50, but like the 3 years of the grand scheme of things, like, yeah, Mayu was basically just a kid too when she ran away and started doing moonsaults.
Nowadays, I think they want you to be I think they'll train you when you're like 15, 16, but they don't want to debut you till you're like over 18. I don't know. Maybe there's new labor laws or something where it's like they can't get away with sending you around the country or whatever. I have no clue. But
we just don't want to beat up children anymore.
We've read their what do you call it? Like newspaper ads or their qualifications. It's like, will you or are you or will you be above the age of 18 by September 2027? Then come apply today. But yeah, she was one of the OGs.
Yeah, so I mean, that's interesting, right? I wish there was more. They probably made a YouTube show of it because they had a show of it because they had a whole bunch of them then. But there had to be some kind of application process or someone you knew, or maybe she was just scouted because even before that, she was already a dedicated athlete. She had a strong background in the martial arts, especially like the shoot boxing, which I thought it took me a second to look up what their shoot boxing was. I thought it was like one of those like smart mark type terms where it's just like shoot means real, but apparently no, it's just a real thing, a hybrid combat sport combining kickboxing and wrestling.
Yeah,
Like, you know, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's that shooting just means you like gotta take a guy down, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too. I just didn't realize it was actually like a name of a league or a sport. I just thought that was something that everyone learned that word from the Wrestling Observer. So, you know, I learned wrestling grammar. Before that, 2010, when she was just 14 years old, she placed second in the 11th All Japan Light Amateur Shoot Boxing Championship. So maybe she was scouted there. Maybe she saw an ad in the paper and she's like, yo, I almost won a championship. Or maybe she wins the championship. She like stays boxing. But dude, to like win like real shoot fighting at 14, no, that's wild.
Yeah, so like 15, 16, she's in I couldn't even find a lot after that because like 15, 16, she's like in Stardom when it's like not a full-time promotion, and then she just disappears for like
I'm assuming
6 years. Like I couldn't find anything about that.
No, I'm assuming the only information we have now,
I think
like
she was a
beforehand
kickboxer.
is
Like
yeah. Well, she basically had she probably had an interview or something like when she first joined, which is why we even know this stuff. Like before Stardom, she also, I mean, that you can tell she's taller. She played basketball, she played volleyball. I mean, she was an all-around high school athlete. But you are right. Like once all that's done and she messes around in Stardom for about a year, and then we have no idea what she did for the rest of her teenage years, right?
No. Okay, but then she comes back in 2018? Yeah, 2018. I have. What would you? I'm gonna give you some. This is just facts right here. When she came back, November 2018, to when she retired, February 2020, she had only 103 matches, and 11 of them are 12 of them are white belt matches. That's crazy.
Is that the whole career, like including both runs?
No, just her second run.
Oh, the second run, yeah. That's wild, huh?
Overall, she only had 150 matches. But like her second run, like 100 matches, and like 10% of them is white belt champion.
Yeah, but it looked like her injury started coming quick, huh? Like we watched, we did our due diligence for the research and had a great time. At least half of us did, or at least most of us did. we had a watch along. We had the Stardom Fan icons in the Stardom Fan Discord. You can go to StardomFan.com. We had Chicken. We had Opie. We had the super producer Ropolos. You and I. We sat there and watched 3 hours of Arisa matches, which was basically the entire white belt run, starting from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could almost see. Unfortunately, you could almost see the degradation, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's looking tired. She's got an extra piece of tape on her neck.
Yeah, that was like a tape system.
By the time we saw the Utami match, we're like, oh, someone's gonna die in this ring.
Yeah, I mean, we skipped a couple. It's like we watched her beat Momo, and then we watched her versus Tam, and then it's like she had a match in England versus someone named Roxy. Skip that one. Like we watched a Black Lipstick Hazuki, or did we skip that one? Yeah, we watched that. We watched the Jungle Kiona match. Watched the Tommy match. Yeah, basically we just kind of went through our whole title run And yeah, you're totally right. By the end, it's like a lot of tape on that neck.
Yeah. Let's go back. That was fun. Well, I'm sure I'll have more to say about that. She. All right, so 2018. So it was about. It must have been right before she comes back to wrestling. She does some more of the shoot boxing in her teenage years. We do know that, and then she's in a couple tournaments. She has a TKO, ends up losing another match by unanimous decision. So apparently, if she's not knocking people out, she's just. Saw you waving. I say if she's not knocking people out, it's going to decision. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Alongside her sports career, she started the band. Yeah, it was like right before she came back. Unlimited Dream Navigator. And dude, I'm like, get out of here. So I look it up. I'm like, whoa. And so I go in and they're on YouTube. I'm watching. They have a whole entire concert. Look them up. It's fucking great. And she she sings under the stage name Udon Sato. I'm not even sure I know who she was. if yeah, you can tell by her face and stuff, I guess, but different presence on stage than she had in the ring, that's for sure. She's not throwing kicks on stage, but it was really cool. You would think, because they also played her music and did a cool music video, like her entrance music, "The Shining Star," which after the 13th time listening to it yesterday, I tried to. I didn't know if you're gonna have a heart attack, or I was trying to give a joke about saying how many times, like, oh my god, I love this song after the 8th time. I'm like, I'm not skipping the entrance. I love this song. And you'd think that they were like poppy or something, but they were awesome. They're like a 4-piece rock band. She's the singer. There's a guitarist, a bassist, a drummer, and Shining Star is probably actually my least favorite song of theirs. And it's a good song, so that's just how good this band is.
Oh,
or was, because they broke up too.
So her entrance, I knew she sang her entrance theme. That was from the same band.
Yeah. So that was their band. I know, because it doesn't quite. If you watch the concert,
because she's like the
concert's a lot more raw.
Because
yeah,
I have
it's an actual music video.
At the end of this, I had her entrance video, because she sings her own song. Gotta play it. And then I had one of her songs from her band. I didn't know they were both from her band. Totally different. Totally different.
Aren't they?
One's like a rock, and one's like J-pop.
Oh, you're not wrong at all. And I like their rock stuff much better. So that's what she was doing in her teens, starting a band and kicking people in the face. She comes back November 23rd, 2018, back to Wonder Ring Stardom. Teams up with Mayu Iwatani, who obviously she must have known from this first time around. In their first match, they go against Azumi Economy, and just like that, boom, they're on top. Starzu. I'm probably doing it through. We are Stardom fan.
It's not easy.
No, it sure isn't. There's a point here, because you could only catch so much of the emotion and the story by going back and watching matches and reading, articles and stuff like that. But you don't get like the emotion of the story unless you talk to someone who was there. And so since we got to talk to our friends Chicken, Opie, Jake about that kind of matches that she was happening, like there's like a fun storyline. Didn't it sound like a little love triangle going on, where it's just like Mayu just has an awesome team, and now we have Tam Nakano and Arisa fighting for her affection? Is that what you gathered from some of the talks we had?
Yeah, that was a good storyline. I know a little bit about that. Tam was just jealous of Arisa. She wanted all of Mayu's attention. She just hated Arisa. Every time Arisa was happy, she would be mad. And then they started tagging them together, which is pretty funny. Arisa, basically, if you just picture, you can see from these. Well, okay, maybe most of the clips are her just kicking people's heads off, but the photos is like she's like picture like a Natsupoi or Mayu, just totally happy fairy, like good times. So she would always go up to Tam, and then Tam would just like shove her and like punch her, like get away from me. And they had like a whole story where Tam was warming up to her, and sucks she got hurt because that was about to be like the greatest tag team run of all time.
Oh, how fun would they be together? I know, and you see some of these like 2019. I mean, the roster is just basically other than a few, like a younger version of the people we watch now. So you watch a bunch of Arisa matches. We're watching all of our favorites that we're watching now, and to see a slightly well, what was that? We're looking at 5-6 years ago now, huh? But a younger Tam, like
yeah.
Same sort of attitude, right? I guess I wouldn't have even thought that she was in Stars because we didn't watch a bunch of the group matches, so she sort of seemed the same. But I did think it was funny that she, well, one, she has her panda, and two, yeah, she definitely.
Everyone loves Tam's panda.
I think it's hard to explain. This is how it seemed. So we started off the night last night watching Arisa and Tam being super friendly, eating pancakes.
Yeah, that's prime. That's prime Stardom. No, actually,
that was about 35 minutes, and we watched the whole.
We watched Arisa. I, and Tam watched Arisa eat pancakes. Tam never took a bite.
No,
that was pretty funny.
Was that the end? Was she tapping Arisa's tummy too? She's like,
yeah, like what is she fat shaming?
Too many carbs. The girl's tiny too, right? Oh my god, that was funny. It's like Tam's like, I can't eat this much stuff. She pretended to eat. She did that, but this is so they were all friendly there. And I think this was in chronological.
She was picking it apart with 2 forks.
You did say we were just gonna end up talking about the pancake show for a half hour, and I'm all in.
It's good.
It was great.
It's a good video.
Good.
I wish they did more of it.
Rapalos, hello baby.
It kind of reminds me
those old shows. They did on Stardom World.
Yeah, that's like when I show you like the New Jeans videos, and it's like they're all about the music videos, but people love them because they're like, what are they doing? They're riding go-karts now. Like I wish they would do that more with Stardom.
Yeah, the behind the scenes stuff makes it fun. It adds a little bit to the story too, since there's not like, in the West, there's where we have in a 3-hour show, there's 2 hours of storytelling and then a couple minutes of wrestling. What we watch, it's all wrestling, and every now and again we have to interject our own story. So to have like a show like that, and you said you watched a lot of, what did Queen's Quest do, a Guam thing, or they traveled or something? So like when they would do those were fun. So because it would add a little story or something.
They had a lot of them.
To our people.
They took a bunch of them down off the website, fortunately. But what do they have? One of them was funny. They had Saki, Kashima, and Mayu were going to pet stores for Pochi, and it's supposed to be called like My Hobby or something. But Mayu kept going like My Hobbit.
I mean, that stuff is great. I don't know.
That was great.
So we watched the pancakes.
Oh man, I could talk about these forever. We gotta start reviewing those videos. I think Mayu talked Saki into buying a dog collar, and she doesn't know a pet. That was good.
Who's the dog collar for?
That's what I want to know.
So we watched the pancakes. They
were
friendly.
CM Punk. Wait, is it backwards? No. Yeah. CM Punk. He likes dog collar matches.
Who?
CM Punk.
That likes what?
Dog
pancakes?
collar matches.
Oh,
he loves donuts. That's for sure.
So we watched the pancakes. And they were friends, and I think this was on the video in chronological order because they were super friendly there. They were actually even showing packages of before the whole pancake thing started about sort of, we just perfect timing. We have a clip there. Oh, but then Tam got mad. The where Tam and Arisa seemed to be friends. But have you thought of Tam as the jealous type? Because boy, Didn't have to think about that one, right? The second, Arisa beats Momo Watanabe to become the white belt champion.
Like there.
Yeah, you think we planned this? Tam is no longer very friendly, right? Like, she is instantly to the point where Tam is Arisa's first challenger. This is if we want, we can talk about some of the matches. I mean, we're not going to give a blow by blow, but a lot of things have changed, and one is Momo Watanabe. It's not a surprise. Yeah, she used to do a lot more, right? I mean, I never saw the 2021 Momo Watanabe I liked. She was still a Queen's Quest Momo Watanabe, but yo, that 2018, 2019 Momo that we watched, that match versus Arisa, was 20 minutes of gold. Momo was fast. Like, I don't think I've ever seen, like, she hit the rope so fast. She was getting up to the top fast. I mean, that girl was flying around. I could understand why people at that time called her, I mean, why she was one of the original prodigies, greatest white belt champions, right? My goodness.
Well, she's a bad guy now. She doesn't have to show off.
Absolutely. Yeah, if she did all that stuff now, it just wouldn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, she doesn't need to. Who does she have to impress anymore? She already did everything she wanted to do.
True.
Now she can go to her sushi restaurants, drink the beer, and
kick you in the face and call
kick
it a
you
day.
in the face, right? And she's got a little bit of thicker legs, so it hurts a little bit more.
True.
The Tam Nakano. So the next is a Tam Nakano match, and so they're doing. I mean, these are great too. You said how. I mean, Arisa seems like the original smiley face wrestler gimmick, right? Like, my goodness, before the match, he's like, man, thank you. This is going to be really good. I'm going to feed him some kicks. I'm glad to have this match. After the match, no matter who she fought, how hard it was, whether she got punched or kicked in the face, she's like, thank you for the match. That was really good. You're a great opponent. We'll do it again sometime. And then we have the Tam Nakano match, and Arisa does the same thing. She's like, Tam, that was really good. Shake my hand. And Tam's just being mean. She's being pissy. She lost. She can't believe she lost.
Yeah. That's why she's the best. She's petty. And jealous. And doesn't like to lose. And loves the attention.
I never understood. And the more, I think it really goes back far. I think originally I thought it was a joke when we would say that Tam Nakano and the Cosmic Angels are the biggest heel faction in the company.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think Tam Nakano is the biggest bad guy in the company.
Okay.
She's pulling strings. She's setting people against each other. She knows what she's doing.
Making people lose weight because she says they're too fat to be in her group.
Hey, I mean, whether she did it was right or not, Yuta Mizumori is a fantastic wrestler now.
What's I gonna say? Pulling strings. Oh, Tam. Yeah, well, she started in Oedo Tai. So, she's kind of she was also a deathmatch queen. She's a deathmatch wrestler. I forgot what I was actually gonna say, but those are some good points, I guess. Fuck, what was I gonna say? I don't know. Oh, here's something else about that match. This is even counting her on a one leg facing off against Netsuko Tora. I have never seen Tam just get her ass kicked more than I saw in that match with Arisa. Like, Arisa just beat the crap out of Tam the entire time.
In a few of the matches we saw, I mean, they were very lopsided.
Oh.
I mean, we're used to championship matches being pretty 50-50, yeah, but that was a beatdown. She pretty much beat the shit out of Tam, beat the shit out of Hazuki. A couple of the best matches. Of course, right? Hazuki had her moments though. But what do you think about, and we'll come back to Tam because she had the funny ending at the end of the Utami thing that we had to rewind so you could see it. But my favorite match.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing to point out. It's like every time you see Tam, not just so like Momo loses. Arisa's the champion. Tam instantly challenges because she's jealous. She's not happy for her after their match, and she's not like, oh, good game, good match, whatever. She's still pissy. Then every other defense she has, like if you see Tam, she either just like walks out after Arisa wins, or she's sitting there pretending to sleep, or she's got a grumpy face. Like she wanted her partner to lose.
Yeah, even as a second, I actually forgot that no matter what, she's almost always out there because she was part of the group, right?
Yeah.
She was there's probably a reason why Hanan and Saida was always helping her out. One, they were the young ones, but two, it was like, well, we can tell Tam's not going to do anything to help her out. She didn't even put the ice pack in the freezer.
No.
My favorite match out of everything we saw. So we watched the championship. We watched Tam. We watched Hazuki. We watched Jungle Kiona. And then we finished up by watching the big rookie, Utami Hayashishida, which might be a loaded question, but out of all those, my favorite match was the Jungle Kiona match. I thought, one, Jungle Kiona, I think is awesome. And it actually doesn't hurt either, is because I didn't watch them at the time. So to watch a Jungle match and an Arisa match is like two styles that I've never seen before. So it's fresh to me and it's new and it's awesome. Like watching the Hazuki match, and I'm Hazuki fan number one. The Hazuki match of 2018 is the exact Hazuki match of 2025.
Well, she's like the Rolling Stones. She just does the same thing in every city, and you thank her for her presence.
Exactly. Same idea. You give us the hits. We don't want to see your new shit. We want to play we want to hear the hits, right? We don't want to hear Kiss's new album. Play the rock and roll song, and we'll go home. So watching Jungle and Arisa, I thought was nuts. This was the first match that we saw where Arisa got her ass kicked. Don't you think?
No, Momo kicked her ass.
Oh yeah.
Anytime she faced someone,
literally,
every time she faced someone bigger than her, she just got her ass kicked all around the ring, and then it always just ended with her hitting a couple like big kicks, like Shuri, a couple big kicks to the head, and then you end it with that like Brazilian kick, 1, 2, 3, lights out.
That Brazilian kick finisher is something, but I shuddered at every one of those knee strikes. Yo, those like knee strikes. I mean, there's some of the difference between like a Shining Wizard and a Arisa Trigger. Like they were insane. And you pointed out, and it happened in the Momo. You said, yeah, the girls that were the same size or bigger than her. The Momo match, the Jungle Kiona match, and the Utami match. Arisa fought from underneath a lot, right? And that was probably some of the best matches. I think, you know, the fresh white face. What do they say? The fresh baby face, white meat baby face fighting from underneath, and those were the best matches.
Yeah, it seems like too. She wasn't. Sometimes I watch a babyface and it's like they get their ass kicked a lot. Like Cody, I'm like, man, Cody's a bitch. He gets his ass kicked in every match he's in. Like Arisa's really good at that, but I feel like it's also nice that some of her matches she's like, yeah, I'm just gonna kick you really hard in the face and get an easy win here.
Yeah, that's why sometimes it would seem cookie cutter. I think if we watch, I mean, granted, we watched a half a dozen of her matches, and there was a lot of similarities. We saw that her cool top rope move, where she does like this spinning splash thing, it gets a 2 count every time. Like she also has her hits, but she also, like, the matches weren't all paint by numbers. Like a couple of them were 12 minutes long, and she kicked them in the face quicker. You know, in the Utami and Jungle match, it went a little bit longer, and the Momo match, obviously. I keep forgetting that because I just happen to have the title defenses up. It took her a little longer to hit her knee.
Yeah.
But that's usually where it started, though, right? I mean, she'd fire up a little bit, she'd fire up a little bit, and the second she had that knee to face, you knew that Brazilian kick was coming within the next 45 seconds. Huh? My God.
Also,
that
she
so
hits
much.
that kick, it's over. Like, I hate when wrestlers have a thing, like a finishing move, it doesn't beat anybody. Like, why do you do it then?
I don't think anyone kicked out of it.
No, she never did it unless she was gonna knock you out.
No, and I think, who was it? Might have been Utami, surprisingly, or maybe it was Hazuki. Someone was pinned without it. Someone was pinned by the knee strike to sort of show that that move can pin you. And I'm assuming that move probably pinned a lot of people on the undercard or in tag matches. But yeah, that you protect your finisher. Holy shit.
Yeah.
she was knocking people out. It was fantastic. That's the run. Would you like to? I mean, that Utami match was brutal. Utami took a hard one, huh?
Oh yeah, she was gushing blood everywhere. She got slammed her head right into the apron. And that was
Is that
like,
what it was from? I couldn't see exactly where it was. She took a few shots right away before she ended up on the outside of the ring. I think she took an early knee. I think there was a turnbuckle. Like, it got crazy fast. That
dude, it's a minute and a half into the match, and Utami's on the outside, and they're fighting, and she gets her head thrown into the side of the ring.
Yeah, I saw that. For some reason, I thought maybe she was cut open even earlier, but you're right. You're probably right. That was probably it.
She got cut open. Brock Lesnar to Randy Orton hard way.
Oof.
And that was it was like a 19 count. Like that. She's like, the ref's like, you know what? I'm gonna give you a hard 19 count to see if you're not unconscious.
See if you want to go or not.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something about our big rookie too. My God, the ref tried his best to check her out. He was like, come to the corner. He was like, get somebody over here to check her out. New Tommy's like, fuck that. She just goes, like, she leaves the corner. They strike a little bit. She gets Arisa right up in one of her torture racks. She's like, I don't give a shit. Do you know who I am? I'm the big motherfucking rookie. And then she finishes up her last match. We didn't end up seeing because I didn't care. But she ends up beating Bae Priestley in her final defense, I believe is right.
Beating or losing?
No, she never lost. She is one of those, but then again, it ended up in COVID times too. So we're never really going to know exactly when this, or how far she would have went, but that was her last match. Was, let me get that date, February 8th, 2020. Bae Priestley. Everything shuts down. I mean, they end up doing the no people gate, but on May 2020 she announces her retirement. Head and neck injuries, but I mean, there was no matches anyways, so she retires without the belts. So she's never lost. She's still the champion.
Yeah, her and CM Punk never lost.
She yeah, and this was, from the beginning of her matches to the end, I don't think she ever wrestled differently. She still hit hard, and she still maybe took way too many chances for as injured as she was getting. But
But we talked about the neck injury and how that's all taped up, but she would do that. She would do a bunch of crazy kicks, like off the top rope, or she would do like a thing where she jumps off the second rope and does a 180 and kicks you. And all those kicks, I'm like, Jesus, because she just land on one leg, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna blow your knee out doing that. So yeah, it was knee and neck problems. I mean, there's a reason no one does the cool moves that she does, because they will destroy your body. But man, they look freaking awesome.
And that ends up being why she left. Head and neck injuries. She's 22. I mean, or that's 2020. She's born what, 9? Shit, she's young as fuck. It's just it's sad that it had to come to that, especially with that much talent. Chicken Who Requested the Show says she's the best to ever do this, and I mean,
It's kind of good. It's a good thing. She just like quit before she was gonna start having problems.
Here's a discussion question, because I was thinking about this. She ends in the middle of a white belt run when there's no wrestling anyways. She's injured. She says enough's enough. I just can't or shouldn't do this anymore for my own health, right?
Yeah.
She's thought of, and like I have this thing because I like doing that, like well, I don't even have to do that because Chicken said, and from what we've seen, I mean, she had one of the best white belt runs of all time. We don't know where it would have gone if there was no wrestling for that quarter of 2020. We don't know where it would have gone if she left, but she did leave, which made me think Momo just entirely replace it. We'd be having the same conversation. Someone would have requested for us to do a topic on the best wrestler of all time, Momo Watanabe. If God forbid she had to quit back in 2018. You know, it's one of those things where it's like you had just enough to really get invested, and then it's gone. You know, it's like, damn. You know, leave you wanting more. Whereas I'm not saying Momo should have left, but like, that's the comparison. Like Momo had that greatest run of her career 6 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, if she would have retired then, people would. I mean, people still are talking about, which is how impressive it is. But people would still be talking about the greatest wrestler of all time, Momo Watanabe. Instead, they're like, I don't know. She's gonna hit someone with a baseball bat now.
That's true because like Utami had one of the greatest red belt runs of all time, and no one talks about that because she's still doing it. Same thing with Shiri. Shiri, like no, like people. Shiri, like it went from like that's probably the two greatest red belts. I mean, people are gonna say Io, whatever, or Mayu, but you go from Utami's run to Shiri's, two of the at least like back to back, like 2 full years of greatness, and then both of them for like years after that were just kind of there.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. It is a goofy thing, isn't it? I understand the next best thing. But dude, with the few names you just named, like, get off topic, are still girls that are in their prime. Why do they do that? It's like, well, you had your turn next. It's like, you know, Shuri's still there, right? You know, Shuri's just as good as she was 3 years ago, right? She's probably better. She knocked Kanami out in 3 seconds.
Kanami did. It was one of those knockouts where Kanami got knocked out so hard she kept fighting. It's like, you know what I'm talking about? Sometimes someone gets knocked out so hard, their body keeps moving, keep trying to fight. I've seen that a million times in UFC where someone gets knocked out and they go to take down the ref because they just go to grab the person next to them.
They wake up and oh my god. All right, well, let me finish up with this, and then we'll get some closing comments or anything else you had if you wanted. But yeah, she retired May 20th, 2020. Since retiring, largely out of the public eye, which that's another personality trait, because some people just like love it, right? Like you hear wrestlers talking almost everything. They just love the crowd. They love controlling the crowd. They love the spotlight. It takes a special person to just be able to do that. She also at this time, because she quits singing, she walks away. 2020, she walks away from wrestling. 2021, she walks away from her group. So she like she was at she was at wrestling shows, selling out Cork and Hall. She was at concerts, selling out the Fire Hall. Then and then next thing you know, nothing. And all I have here is she's chooses to stay out of the public eye. I mean, it's just weird, huh? You usually don't see from 100 to 0.
I mean, I don't know how much money they make off of merch. Maybe she's like, fuck this. Like, I'm just gonna go do a regular job.
Well, that's what you would have think, yes, but then maybe stick around. I mean, because Jungle Kiona still even has a website, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, yeah, I haven't wrestled, and I, probably need a real job. But if you want to throw me $20 to buy a shirt, here, buy my shirt. She probably still goes to signings and all that stuff. Arisa did show up briefly. Later 2021 doing something with the actras wrestlers. I don't know, but it didn't really turn out to be anything. And here we are today, just looking back at her fondly as one of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah. And if you want to pay me and Mark to talk about your favorite wrestler, go to our Patreon.
Stardom Fan, or patreon.com/Stardom Fan, or you can follow everything we do at StardomFan.com. Was that just the perfect segue to go into the close and the thank yous?
Yeah.
All right, baby. Jude, I would like to thank you for one, putting up this beautiful PowerPoint, to which not only do I get to look at you and your beautiful eyes while I talk to you, but I get to look at Arisa and her beautiful eyes as we chit chat about one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Thank you for this production. Thank you for joining me for this beautiful podcast. Thank you, Chicken and Opie, our Stardom fan icons, for requesting this episode. In the icon tier, you get to choose a show topic, and that's how we got this great show today. We also have the Stardom fan, the world of Stardom fan champion, Jake. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Shout out tubers, or all those weird words you guys say to each other.
Huh?
And don't go live. I don't know. I'm trying to be cool like you guys. What did I forget? Follow everything we do at StardomFan.com, the YouTube. There's pictures on there. There's articles on there. Oh, there's actually something that I sort of snuck up there that I thought was pretty cool. If you want to, I look like Mayu. Everything we do is at StardomFan.com. But if you want to bring up StardomFan.com, there's something sort of new I did that was pretty neat.
What?
It's really cool. I think it's cool. It's something I wanted to post last year and I never did. There's a tab, and it's the tour posters for the year, which I think are pretty cool. It's literally, if they release like a tour poster, are we posing? If they release a tour poster, you go to StardomFan.com, click on the tour posters in the menu, and you have every poster right there. Easy to save, download, print out, do whatever you want. I actually plan on printing mine out in cardstock and lining my office with them, which will be great. Maybe that'll be a Patreon gift too, huh? We'll get a tier and just sort of, we'll send you the posters, but we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Anything else, buddy? Thanks, Ropolos. Thanks, Opie Lover. And if you happen to be watching still on the Stardom Fan Discord, you can go to the StardomFan.com. It's a good time. There's people that chit chat and stuff. We talk Stardom. We talk other wrestling. Every now and again, arguments happen, but that's all right. That's what the internet wrestling fans are all about. We're just one big family that love each other. But it looks like super producer Ropolos is watching Stardom Path of Thunder as we speak. Am I allowed to say that? He paid for it. It's not like it's illegal or anything. He's just sharing. He just may be sharing his screen or maybe his audio. I don't know. And Opie says we talk New Jeans, guys. Juno.
We talk New Jeans.
Now you're putting me on Tam.
Yeah.
All right, bye, boy. I don't know how to start Zoo. I'm like, how there's always someone in the group where sometimes it's even Mayo gets it backwards. There's someone in the group, they got to show how to do it. Or the God's Eye. You know how to do.
Wait, one's this, one's that?
One, I think if you do it in New York,
it
you better be a part of the gang or else you're in a lot of trouble.
I think it's that, right?
I'm not sure you're allowed to do that on YouTube.
Wait, what's Tate have one? Oh yeah. Hate, God's Eye, Club Venus.
We might be doing all the things. We might be out of the. We might do another showing as we record. The pay-per-view is starting right now. Path of Thunder, where the Love Triangle versus Saya, Tam, and Kurara continue. We have Rena hopefully becoming the new future champion. We have Wingori beating up on Crazy Star. This is a big show. We might have to come on in a couple of days and talk about it. Or go to StardomFan.com, click on the Discord, because I'll probably be watching it and watch the Watch Along channel tomorrow.
Bye, boy.